Yum, ginger snap goodness. Okay. I forgot that I was gonna, um, enter in blogs from when I lived at the hotel. But, so I'm not gonna do that right now, but yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think I have them on disc somewhere. I might be able. No, I can't do that. They just took the things off. You used to be able to link them to Facebook, which you still can do, but they had their own little. Anyway, never mind. Okay. Um, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but apparently it bothered me enough that I feel like I need to talk about it. So, um, if anybody is aware, there was an update special for Little People Big World. Okay, and people of short stature are considered handicapped. So I don't feel like I'm not informed enough to speak about this. Okay, I probably could technically pass as a dwarf, being that I'm about 4'11". So I would probably be on the tall side, but anyway. Um, I watched about 15 minutes of this update episode, which featured Zach, who is one of the twins, and he's the short-statured one. Um, he is going to college and has a job at a community. It's a community college, but it's still school. Okay, he has a job, so he's gainfully employed, and so this is what I did not appreciate about. I only watched about 15 minutes of this episode because it made me so angry. Um, his parents were just riding his ass. Like, you've been at the same job for 4 years and uh, you're going to community college. What are you doing? Um, and I don't really know if he lives at home or whatever, but if he's gainfully employed, he's doing better than 9/10 of the handicapped population. And if you want me to take it a little further, I would say that he's doing better than 9/10 of the population at large when you consider the unemployment rate. Now, so I don't really appreciate the fact that they were writing his ass when he's gainfully employed and is going to school. Because a lot of people that I know either don't have a job or they're not going to school. So I don't really appreciate what they were doing. First it was the father, and then it was the mother. He was talking about how he was thinking about a career change because he started to realize that there wasn't room for advancement. He was teaching soccer to these kids. And no sooner did he say that, and we walked into the house, then both of his parents got on him about what he was doing. Well, your girlfriend, she's going to school and she's going to be a teacher, and what are you going to do? His twin went away to apparently a state college. I don't know. I only watched 50 minutes of this episode. As I said, it made me angry, and I changed the channel. It was like they expect him to be on a certain level, and it's not the same when you have a handicap. It's not. That's the reality of the situation. The fact that he has a job at all is amazing, and is to be commended. He doesn't need it to, he doesn't need to have them writing his ass. they could have tried a gentler approach, like, have you thought about getting an apartment, or, you know, I had been on my own. I've lived on my own and had my own apartment and whatnot. And the way things are right now, I can't do it. It's not financially feasible. Uh, and my mother, or my family and I are doing the best that we can with that situation. And that's just the way it is. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, based on what I know about his situation, he's doing better than 9/10 of the population at large, let alone the handicapped population. And it just really upset me the way that his parents seem to be treating his situation. If you want to move out, you want to move out, but don't write him about his situation in general. Jeez. Well, I mean, like, he's got a girlfriend, and she's of average size, and I think that they're threatened by that. To be honest, I really do. Um, he's got his own situation that's separate. It's separate from his girlfriend's. It's separate from his brother's. It's separate from theirs. It's his life, and from my point of view, screw everybody else's expectations where it's concerned. Okay, so I'm sorry. I just had to get that out. It was really bothering me. Um, other than that, there's a website that I go on for writers, and I was fighting with one of the authors that frequents the site, and it turned into this big thing that I didn't intend. Um, but I was just like, look, I'm sorry, I let my own personal bullshit get in the way, and I'm sorry, but no, she wanted to help me with the story that I was writing, and I got mad at her because I didn't ask her for help, and I thought the way things worked was that authors would ask other, authors or people on the site for help, or a beta, and a beta, in layman's terms, would be a proofreader, okay, and they can give you these helpful suggestions. Well, she offered help without being asked, and that's where it started. I'm really sensitive based on what I've experienced, the way that I have or have not been received in the artistic community in general. And it turned into this big, huge thing that I didn't intend. And I actually have tremendous respect for this person. But anyway, now she's not speaking to me, and yeah, okay. Uh, I watched the State of the Union address, and I was reminded why I voted for President Obama in the first place. There were certain things that I didn't agree with, like, um, there were like a couple different things that really got to me, stuck in my craw, as people in the South would say. But one in particular that I remember is his proposal that everybody has to stay in school until they're 18. Now, here's why I A, don't think that's going to work, and B, I I disagree with it. Based on my own experience, there are certain people that are not built to be in the classroom, and they want nothing more than to get out of there as soon as possible. And the government wants everybody to believe that you cannot get anywhere or advance unless you have an education. First is high school and then it's college. Well, that's bullshit. Not that an education doesn't help, it does. But the truth is that it matters about how much it matters how much drive you have, how bad you want something, and who you know. There are several very successful people who never graduated from high school that I could name, but I'm not going to. And the fact that they didn't graduate from high school has nothing to do with their intelligence level. And by the way, I did. And I am a prime example of someone whose grade point average does not reflect their intelligence level. But because I had learning disabilities, I barely escaped that situation with the skin in my teeth. I graduated a month shy of my 20th birthday and never wanted to go into a classroom ever again. And based on what I know, college is harder, and you have to kind of police yourself and make sure that you're up on whatever you need to be up on so that you can do well in your classes. And so I spent the majority of my scholastic career playing catch up or keep up. If I could not pick up on a teacher's methodology, then I was pretty much screwed. It was up to me to try to figure out where they were coming from, as opposed to the opposite. Now that's changing. They admit that there's more than one way to learn. And I do agree with the idea that if a teacher isn't doing well, that they shouldn't have their job, that they should be graded, just as the students are graded every 2 semesters or however it would work. So I agree with that. But I don't necessarily agree with the idea that the students should stay in school until they're 18. I believe that if it's not working, that they should have the option to leave and that they should not be held responsible or considered a criminal because they've dropped out. I do believe that they should have options. Like, say, if they're in high school and it's not working, that they should have the option to drop out, maybe go to a trade school. Something like that. There were other things that I didn't agree with. I felt like it was showboating a little bit. Like, I got Osama, I got a Gaddafi. And yeah, that's true. But I don't know if I'm going to vote for him for a second term. I may vote for Ron Paul instead, because he seems like he's more interested in what's happening with the little guy. Let's see what else. I don't have anything going on with my artwork. It was the whole writing thing that was going on where I was arguing with that author lady. So that was what I had going on, but I don't have any sketches or paintings or anything that I need to talk about. So until next time. Sayonara, bitches. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, the Hapasoba police are going to be after me. I don't agree with that, by the way, either. I think that's a violation of the First Amendment. Bye.